Okay, everyone, I think I've got this set. It's Margaret here with Creative Stamping with Margaret. I thought I'd pop on this Friday and share a cute little project that I cased. This is actually in the Sale-a-Bration brochure, which ends the end of this month. So if you place a qualifying order of $50 or more, you'll be able to get this gorgeous paper that I've used in the project. The project that I'm casing is on page 11 in the little brochure, and it's actually a little gift bag using the designer series paper. I've changed it up a little. I've decided to use another paper and another stamp for the flower, but the idea comes from using this. So I'm going to keep this short, brief, but I did want to pop on and do a video showing how to make that bag. So it's quite simple. What you're going to need to start with is a piece of the designer series paper. It's 11 1/4 by 6 inches, and then we're going to score it. So let me get my scoring board here. So we will score it at 5 inches and 6 1/4 inches. Then let's rotate it, and we will score it at 1 1/4 inches and 4 3/4 inches. So again, the paper is 11 1/4 by 6. Score it 5 inch and 6 1/4, rotate 1 1/4 and 4 3/4. So we're through with that. So next, we just want to take and burnish these scored edges. Now this is designer series paper, so it's not quite as sturdy as the cardstock, but I must say this is a not a thin, very thin designer series paper, so it does have quite a bit of stability with it. So after you've burnished those edges, we're going to take our paper snips, and on each side we're going to cut just up to where those score lines intersect to get a little flap that will fold in. And to remove some of the bulk, I like to just cut an angle on each side to remove a little bulk. And on this, I'm going to just trim a little so we don't have quite as much. We'll repeat that very same step on the next side. This side of the paper is beautiful as well if you did not want to do a floral pattern. If you wanted to use this side instead to make a bag, and then you could really embellish the front with some flowers that you stamp and cut. That's another option. So now we just need to adhere this so that it closes. I'm going to use the Stampin' Seal Plus on one side, but then you may want to use the liquid glue on another. So as you see, we're just going to line that up to get that going. Now this side will up and line up. And on this, I am going to use the multi-purpose liquid adhesive. It just gives me a little bit more play if I need to adjust the edges some. And of course it's a very strong adhesive. So there we have that side lined up, and then just press it a little. And what I like to do is take my bone folder and just rub on the inside. That helps sort of get that glue dispersed. And then I must have a little adhesive that caught. Okay, here, that went inside. That's why that happened. Then we'll put a little of the adhesive on this other side. Better put the top on that or I'll end up having that all over me. I'm known to grab something when the lid's not on. Usually it's ink, and then I have ink all over my hands for the next few moments. Okay, so there we have our bag. And to make it into a bag, we're just going to pinch those sides in. So next, for the sentiment that is used, the thinking of you, that actually came from the Happy Thoughts Cling Stamp Set, and it is in the mini catalog on page 28. And I moved my mini catalog, but it's in the January-June catalog on page 28. And then in that same catalog, I'm using the Pretty Perennials for my stamp set, just to embellish the side. Happy Blooms coordinates with this paper, which I will show you. This paper, the paper pack, that's the one from the Sale-a-Brations, the Flower and Field Designer Series paper, which I'm using, which is just gorgeous. But yes, here is that mini catalog, the January-June. And as I said, I'm using Perennial Petals. You could also use In Bloom, which is the one that I believe they used, because that coordinates with the paper. So now to do our stamping. So what you're going to need for the tag, the Whisper White, and a piece of the Designer Series paper cut again that coordinates. I'm using the piece that has the yellow dots on the back, since I'm using the yellow gingham ribbon, which is what they used on their sample in the Sale-a-Bration brochure. As you see, they used that one. So this is 2 3/4 by 1 1/2. The not Whisper White, it's Basic White now. The Basic White paper is the very same size. So next, I'm using Memento Black. You could also use your StazOn Black. And then we're just going to stamp Thinking of You. And I got that a little turned, but that's okay. I'm going to flip it over and just see if I can straighten that up a little. That looks better. Thinking of You. Then for the stems, I'm using Granny Apple Green. I love this green. It's just such a bright, cheerful green. For the berries, I'm using Poppy Parade. Then, as you will notice on the sample in the brochure, they have offset the tag so that the DSP shows below that. So I'm going to do the same, and to hold that in place, I'm using a couple of glue dots. And then you just sort of position it how you would like, how much of the contrasting you would like to show, to peek through there. You could do it at another angle if you wanted, but I like this angle here. And then to close the bag, they have just used the gingham ribbon, which is the bumblebee color gingham ribbon. And to help hold it while you tie the ribbon, just grab a clip. This is a retired clip that we used to have, and I save it. I've saved a couple of them that I use just for when I need that extra hand. It's a great way to do that. So we'll cut off a little bit of the ribbon to tie a bow and to help hold it closed. The nice thing about this, you can tie it, have the bag sitting out. Go ahead, put your little treat in it. I'll be untying it again. So I'm not going to trim the tails because I do want to fill this with a little treat. But you would trim the tails of your bow and then adhere the tag to it. And the way that I adhered the tag is I did use some stamping dimensionals to add it to my bag earlier. So I'll do the same on that. Anyway, that was just a quick, short little video I thought I would pop in and share with you. So thanks for joining me today for casing the Sale-a-Bration brochure. Have a great Friday.